Alright, so I'm super happy with this knife. I think the handle turned out great. I love this color. I love this stonewash finish. So now I've got a razor shaving edge on here. Next step is to go ahead and get a sheath built out for this. I thought I had more of this black leather than I do. That's going to be a little tricky. I was hoping to avoid having to use that super heavy gauge leather because that stuff's really, really hard to work with. I might have enough here to get the belt loop shape that I want and get the sheath, but I need to trace that out first. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this on the edge of the bench here. I know this can sometimes be okay. So what I'm going to do is first is I'm going to lay my knife down, and then don't need anything too serious. You just need to be able to basically scribe a trace line on here. Because you have to be able to see where stuff is going to end up. So this is my blade shape right here, and I can see that pretty clearly. And now I need to find my ruler or my speed square. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go like a 1/2 inch out from here. That's going to be like I feel like that's going to be a pretty severe distance. I might be able to get away with a 1/4 on this one. I really need a piece of chalk. Hang on, let's go see if I can find some chalk. Okay, so this should make a lot more sense. So what I've done is I've gone through here, traced out my blade shape, and then I traced out a 1/4 inch for the welt to go around there. So you can go ahead and get this cut out. I'm actually going to use my razor and my square here. plus a handle length. Plus 2 belt loops. So freely. So the idea here with this belt loop design, I know it might be kind of tough to envision in your head right now, but the idea is that the knife can sit like this, okay, and your belt can go through one side and come back out the other, and that way the knife can sit kind of over your hip. So you can pull this way, you can sit it over your hip, so you can pull this way, you can sit it over your hip, so you can pull this way. That's the idea behind this belt loop. I think that I probably have enough here to do it. I'll probably have to play with the angle that this goes on there and how we're going to get this piece comfortable on the belt. The other thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that nice is showing to nice, which we are right now, so that's good. Okay, so I've got the constellation stitched in. Now I need to cut out a welt for this. You guys have seen me do that before, so I'm not going to show you again, but basically what I'm going to do is, I know that this is a 1/4 inch wider than it needs to be, so we're going to take this over to the thick leather and cut out a 1/4 inch wide strip that's just going to line the inside of this. That'll keep the blade from catching on stuff. We'll glue that all together, you know, get our holes punched, that kind of stuff. In the meantime, what I need to do is I need to take my belt here and I need to lay this basically on there where I want it to go. And I need to make my chalk line. Okay, so that's going to be my belt loop on that side. Let me go ahead and do the same thing over here. Okay, so there's one. And there's two. So now we have our belt loops cut in. I can grab my stitch groover here. And there we go. Okay. Okay. And so what that is going to allow me to do is saddle stitch this to reinforce this leather around here. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to do the same on this side. All right. So now, I can come through here. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to trace out the piece I need for the welt. Actually use a marker for this because I can actually see it on here. So, I'm just going to know I can come inside this line a little bit. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to take my stitch groover and open this up. So that's a half. Sorry, I'm going to take my stitch groover and I'm going to set this to a quarter. I'll just double check that. Just make sure. need to design this line. Okay. So now I have a really straight line marked for where this needs to be. Oh, that's spare in there. That's actually right. So the other nice thing about doing this is I'm making I've got, the start of some blade patterns for myself, right? Like this, I'd actually probably adjust this curve here to make this more of a buoy. But now I've got okay, this is the Seax, here's the buoy, and these are easy to trace on metal if I ever start doing any stock removal or anything. For these, I'm actually going to use scissors. So now we got our welt. Let's go into back our top piece here. This first. I don't know, I can't really mark the stitch holes yet. My fear is that if I glue it, I think I'm going to glue it first. And then I can, so here's the problem. This eventually needs to attach to this. Okay. But I can't just glue this to this and be done because I have to finish up the edges. So I think what it makes more sense to do is to actually glue this first, finish up my edges the way I want them finished up, and then I'll be able to grind all of this to shape on the grinder and finish off the edges really nice. So we're gonna glue first. So need to get some clamps and then we'll get that glued on. So I got my black paint.
I don't care about getting paint on the back side of this at all. I just want to make sure I get any of the brown that's exposed to the front. This is probably not the preferred method of doing this, but this has worked well for me in the past. Just getting a little bit on a glove fingertip. See right there, like I didn't cut that perfect. I want that to be hidden. Okay. So we'll set that to dry. Hopefully these are well-matched blacks. So now, got that. And you can't see that edge anymore under there, which is really good. Still a little wet. So we're going to go ahead and just set that off to the side for the evening and let that dry. Okay, that's all punched out. Now, we can start our saddle stitch. This is just a white wax thread. Show you how to thread a needle for this. So you guys can see that you're gonna go through the back. You're gonna go through the back of the needle here, like so. Okay. And then you're gonna take this, and you're gonna push the needle through the center of the thread once. Push it through the thread a second time. So you got a little shape like that. And pull that down over the needle. And that is how you thread one side of a needle for a saddle stitch. Sorry. Go ahead and do that. And this other one here. Slips in there. Nice easy draw. Now I'll go grab a belt and show you how this can be worn. Alright, so knife goes into the sheath, and then your belt loop, or your belt, goes through here, this, up through here, like this. See that? And now this can be worn on this side of your body, or
this side of your body. Sorry, it took me a second to figure out. Same thing. Sorry. You just started in a different spot on the belt. Alright, or it can be worn over here, like this. So, there you go. I'll take some better pictures here in a second. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I hope you enjoy the pictures coming up. And until the next build, go hammer some steel.